What we're going to look at here is the University of Bridgeport Fall Math 105M course for the year 2016. It is a 4-credit course that will be in 2 parts. Each part will earn 2 credits. So at the first day of the course, we'll start with part 1, and everyone is enrolled in this course. Now, in the first module or chapter, there are 8 sections, 8 topics that we'll be covering, and in lecture we'll do one of these topics each day. That will be module 1. Now, the plan is, as you do your homework at home, which consists of practice, examples, and then once you feel confident you know how to do these, you're going to do what is called a quiz me. You take the quiz me, and if you do it successfully, you will earn a mastery point. After you accumulate enough mastery points, you'll be able to take the pretest on module 1. If you earn at least a 70% on the pretest, you're able then to take the post-test. And if you earn 70% on the post-test, you have completed module 1 satisfactorily. Now, an interesting thing is that as you feel more confident in the future, you can go back and retake any test that you've taken to try to improve those scores. Then on to chapter 2 in the last 2 weeks. Again, 4 sections or 4 lessons, 1 each lecture class. And if at the end of the 6 weeks you have completed module 1 and 2, you will be given an add-drop form to register for the next 2 credits for modules 3 through 6. So let's follow this scenario that you are in part 2. And again, each lesson will do some topics, and then there'll be a pre-test, post-test after you earn your mastery points, and this will continue till the end of the course. Now, if at the end of the course you are on module 6 and have completed it, you, during the finals week, can take your exit exam. And if you are successful in that exit exam, you have completed the course. You've earned 4 credits. Now, let's look at the other scenario in which if after the first 6 weeks you have not successfully completed the first 2 modules, then you don't register for the next course, but continue to work on your first 2 modules to gain mastery and passing grades on your post-test. Now, let's say you are in the 9th week and you finally complete that. Then you are to continue to work on modules, but you wouldn't be in the actual second module. So at the end of the course, you don't take the exit exam, but all of the work that you've completed will be carried over in the next semester, and you'll be registered for a course, and in that course you'll be doing the part 2 material. Now, you can attend lectures to improve mastery, but the key is chances are you might be able to finish early and not have to wait until the exit exam to complete the course. Now, two other important areas is that in lecture classes, you are required to take good notes that will be checked by your instructor, along with when you do practice and quiz-mes and your pre and post tests that you'll be keeping in a homework lab log, and these will be checked weekly. And collectively, your notebooks will be 10% of your grade. Now, testing is 90% of your grade, and in the exit exam being 50% of your grade. Another very important thing is labs. Labs are mandatory. In my sections, they meet on Thursdays right after the lecture class meets. The next class you would go to your lab class. Now, this is a place where you bring in your homework log and have your instructor or tutors help you go over the problems you've been having problems with. Most of your homework will be done outside of class. These labs classes are to help focus on what you're doing and be a place where you can get help. Now, an important thing about lab classes is that they are mandatory, and if you miss one, that's considered an unexcused absence. Now, there is a way to have the class that you miss count as an excused absence. And that would be if we were doing, let's say, Module 3 that week, and you already had the post-test taken on Module 3, that missed lab could be counted as an excused lab, or will be counted as an excused lab. So the idea that if you accumulate 3 unexcused labs during any semester, you're going to get an F in the course. And you can just read this over. Now, the other scenario is that I didn't mention is that if at the end of this first semester, if you are still working on Part 1 and have not completed Modules 1 and 2 successfully, you will end up with an F in this first 2-credit course. You would not get an incomplete, you would get an F. Now, the only ones that get an incomplete would be those who have completed this at the 6-week period, registered for chapter modules 3 through 6, that they're physically in the second part of the course. If they didn't finish by the end of the first semester, they would get an incomplete. I think we've covered that actually. So hopefully this will be a good review of what the Math 105M course is going to be like in the fall of 2016.